Merry Christmas, I miss you so.
Merry Christmas, everybody's having fun. Oh, this arrived for me from Romania, and talk about Secret Santa. It's a secret Christmas present to myself. Wonder what it contains. So, having removed the packaging, we find inside a screen support for my Africa Twin. Presumably in there are the 4 bolts that hold it in place, and the idea is that you can fit your sat nav then to the screen without breaking the original weldings. I'm sure you're quite familiar with that. This one is made by Vlad in Romania and is much cheaper than the Camel version, and apart from fitting these 2 lower bolts, which I know can be quite tricky, it looks a lot easier to fit and beautifully made actually. Nicely made piece of equipment. Doesn't weigh too much, and presumably will add a lot of strength where the sat nav can be mounted, so I can move it off the handlebars. But I won't be doing that for a while because the weather's not very nice at the moment, and I'm not really ready to do it. So this video will probably go out a long time from now. Now, the tricky part of this is to get that bolt to fit through here, and I found the best way is with a miniature pair of mole grips gripped around the bolt on the thread, and then you can just slide it in. You can see it's in there. It's really the only difficult part of the whole thing. I'll just show you how I set that up in a moment. I can't actually show you me putting it in because I can't video it and do it at the same time, it's too tricky. But I slid it in from here and up and through. Bit fiddly, but it went in first go. So, as you can see, but I gripped the bolt in the mole grips on the shaft of it rather than at the bolt. I tried the end and it was too long, but if you grip it in the middle, it will actually slide up at an angle like that, and gradually you can push it up and it goes through the hole. And these mole grips grip very tight. They seem to be the best thing for it. They're quite small, but as I say, it went in first time, and once those 2 bolts are in, really there's nothing to this at all. That's just the difficult bit. So there's the 2 bolts torqued in and thread locked in place, and that's the hard part done, I believe. You see them both there, and the bracket attaches to those quite simply. The hard bit was getting those bolts through. It's all done now. Now with the screen removed, you can see how the brace fits in. It goes over the 2 bolts at the bottom, which are down here. Goes over the top of those, and bolts there, up the side, round, and then a bolt either side will go through there. Now I found it's best to put the bolt through and back it off a bit, put the nut on, and then screw it in from the outside with an Allen key. Otherwise it didn't seem to go in straight. Of the bike with the screen off, and there's the 2 bolts that go through to make the rest of the brace fit. You might notice that I've left in these bolts to stop, it's these 2 you want to worry about, to stop these lugs from dropping down inside into the fairing. I've had one, it's a nightmare, so whenever I take the screen off I always put them back in just to hold them, and always very, very careful around these. These are not the OEM ones, they're a bit smaller. The OEM ones have a bigger Allen key. It's the same principle. If they fall inside, you have to take the fairing off to get at them, or replace them and leave them inside. Okay, so that's it done. Just need to tighten everything up. Here has a lot more strength. I'll be able to move my sat nav bracket from here onto here, up behind the screen, which probably look better up there. Probably be easier to see as well. So that's the aim. That's the whole point of it, because apparently these can snap. So small job, bit fiddly, but didn't take too long to do. For some reason or other, I keep singing My Lovely Horse by Father Ted, with your fretlocks blowing. Anyway, Stuart Granger, My Lovely Horse, for Christmas received a cover for his rear brake, a kicker bag for the back seat, a screen brace to go with the Batson screen. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year from all of us to all of you. Say goodbye, Stuart. Goodbye, Stuart. The final thing fitted is this thing here. It's just a cover, stops things like it falling through that hole and blocking it with dirt or whatever. Don't know what it does, but it's blue, it matches the others. Not sure it's on properly, but anyway. Merry Christmas, Stuart Granger.
Have you heard the news today? My girl has gone